are live. We are live with episode 35 of the Castle Keeper's Guide, and it is Monday. And what is Monday? Monday is Mega Monday. And for Mega Monday, we have Jack Cool. Hey, Jack.
Hey, yeah, baby. How you doing?
I am doing well. I am doing well, and welcome to Princess Strega. Princess Strega is, of course, one of our subscribers right here on the list of awesomeness. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers. Thank you to all of my Twitch subscribers. Much love to you all. As a reminder, we are on the eve of December 1st, and what does that mean? Goodies from the Patreon, and unlike a lot of Twitch channels, being subscribed to me on Twitch gets you the Patreon rewards. So tomorrow we are going to be sending out black and white maps. We've got a theme going of my overland style, almost isometric. I call it my Lord of the Rings style. I'm giving out a Lord of the Rings pack of all sorts of little PNGs and PSDs, so you could start creating your own maps. There may be more to come just before Christmas, if you behave, and I know, Princess, you don't behave, so you don't get it, girl. And then we're also giving out level 2 of our mega dungeon. Every single month we add a new level, so this is level 2, and wallpapers for days. And this one is actually from Whisper and Venom, Death and Taxes. I believe this is the one from Zach Glazer. High resolution, gorgeous map, and lots of other goodies as well. So hit me up with a subscribe or follow, and who knows what you may get in your stocking. But that's all for tomorrow. Tonight, Castle Keeper's Guide. We are super close on the castle. Turning darkness to light. Of course, you've got to announce yourself, young lady. You're not here until you do. But we're super close on this. I mean, look, you can see. Now, what I'm going to start doing tonight is drawing into light brickwork. Just a little bit of grass here and there. And then we're calling this one done. I did want to draw a building on the inside, and I think I'm going to do that as well. No more heavy lifting. Objective for tonight, done with the castle. And then tomorrow we're going to move on to the metropolis. So that's where we're at. That was a lot of talking. So Jack, talk to me.
Well, Princess wanted to point out that the Princess Redemption was wargaming, not her.
Oh, the announcements. Gotcha. Well, as long as someone is announcing her, then it's all good. You know, I'm washed away again. Hold on a sec. This camera always likes to reset this. So we are going to go in here. What are we going to do? We're going to configure the camera. We're going to hit this button. And we're going to say, I don't want you to do low light compensation. There you go. That's a lot more natural. Much more better. Okay. Alex Dixon's here. Everyone's here. The crowd is here. Wargaming Recon. Fun watching you play that game. In fact, Wargaming Recon actually has his own Twitch channel. Costs you nothing to hit him up with the follow. Click on his name. Hit him up with a follow over there. He's playing games most evenings before my stream. Get you warmed up. Jack, what are we talking about tonight? What's on the agendas?
You know how we work here. There is no agenda. There is just rando topics that get thrown out either by ourselves or by the lovely viewers.
Have I tried using an app like a webcam setting to dial in? Well, it is a webcam setting. The problem is the Streamlabs just keeps resetting it again. So I probably need to do it outside of Streamlabs and make it permanent. So I'll do that. I just keep forgetting. I think you know me at this point. I have so much going on in my head. 90% of it doesn't get done. Because I'm literally, squirrel. That's the 10% that gets done. So, Jack, did you at least decide what film you're watching tonight?
Well, I'm still trying to decide out of two. So one of the things that I'm trying to do on my Monday watches is I'm typically trying to hit older films that are ones that I should have seen them by now. They're kind of like they're classics, whether they be cult classics or like critically acclaimed, maybe they're Criterion Collection, whatever it may be. Films that are renowned in some way that they may be the most, they might have been the most popular thing ever. It might have even won Best Picture, and an Academy Award, but I just had never seen it. Just one of those. Because for as much as I love film, I don't watch movies all the time because I have, I've been working, full time for almost my entire adult life. And so I've never had as much movie watching time as I've wanted to. And because of that, I still have been able to watch a lot of films, but because of that, I've missed a lot of things out there just because I've had just a finite amount of time. So being that I'm now, once a week, I'm carving some time to always watch an older film of some kind. That's what I'm doing. So tonight I've narrowed it down. It's either going to be Midnight Cowboy or The French Connection.
Oh, those are two good films.
And they're classics. Ones that those are ones that I've never seen either. I've seen clips from both, and I know about them, but I've never actually watched them. So, and both of them are actually Best Picture winners, funnily enough. And so yeah, so that's those
are two classics. I do want to say, by the way, Alex Vixen, thanks for the shout out yesterday. I really do appreciate that. I did see at least one random follow pop up out of nowhere, and I was like, well, where's this from? So thank you. I didn't look any deeper than that, but there might have been more. Thank you.
Good morning. Brian McWhirter coming in. Good morning, whatever this map is now.
Yeah, it doesn't have quite the same ring, does it? Good morning, Castle Keeper's Guide.
Princess, yeah, they're both available on Amazon Prime streaming, which we have. So, it was a French Connection and Midnight Cowboy, the Dustin Hoffman, John Voight film.
I think I've only seen Midnight Cowboy once myself.
From 1969. French Connection is 1971.
French Connection, that's with Hackman, right? I've seen twice.
Correct.
I think twice. Maybe 3 times. But that was one of those films for me that I would watch it with my dad, So I've got even a little bit of sentimental feeling with that one.
Gotcha.
I remember nothing about it, but I know I've seen it.
Got ya.
Hey, GL. Midnight Cowboy rated as an X or NC-17? I actually don't know.
Yeah, it according to the wiki entry, which links to a couple of other articles, which I won't get into because that'll take time. Upon initial review by the Motion Picture Association of America, Midnight Cowboy received a restricted or R rating. However, after consulting with a psychologist, executives at United Artists were told to accept an X rating due to the homosexual frame of reference and its possible influence on youngsters.
Oh, is that what did it? The homosexuality?
So the film was released with an X rating.
The world back then was just not cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they were open about, but there was a lot of things where people really had their
yeah, they really did have it in for it, didn't they?
The MPAA later broadened the requirements of the R rating to allow more content and raised the age restriction from 16 to 17. Because I guess back then, if you were 16, you could still see R-rated films. The film was later rated R for its reissue in 1971, 2 years later, and to this day it still retains its R rating.
Really?
Right, and yeah, exactly, Strega. By today's standards, it would probably be PG-13.
Yeah,
it's kind of silly. Cool, Strega. Cool. We'll keep an eye out for that. Hello, GL.
Now, did I see that Princess Strega watched something over the weekend on your Facebook wall, Princess? What did you watch? We revisited some of the redemptions, and we tweaked some. At the end of the last stream, there was kind of a nutso exchange of gold. And, there was also, we tweaked some of the volumes on some of the others because they can, like, I'll be talking and then someone will spam them. And that can be a little bit disruptive. So just a little bit of tweaking, nothing crazy. Most of the often used ones largely went untouched. GL, if you're still out there, my friend, I gotta be honest with you, the addition of the banner here, it's sweet. It's sweet. I love it. I love it. It's a real nice touch. I don't think I actually would have thought about adding that.
Is the if I may ask about the map, is it ooh, Jackfax. Is the is the design of it all done, and is that why you're now on the details?
Yeah, the design is done. I do think I want to snack grab. All right, I love the picture of the snack grab. By the way, it's awesome. It's a little bit like me when Jack walks into the kitchen. I'm like, ah. But yeah, we're done with the drawing on this now. I think it's looking really quite nice. All I'm doing is adding a little bit of texture to the walls, and you can see that it's really adding something. Then I could just basically color this in grey behind, and it'll be kind of cock on. And then I do want to draw some kind of barracks building or stables over on the far side of the courtyard, which I'm gonna do in this stream. But I'm kind of in the mood for mindlessly hanging out with you guys and girls, just chatting, just hanging and drawing bricks. I just want to draw some bricks. That's what I'm in the mood for. But it's surprising how just that little bit of brickwork just adds a lot of polish. It's a little bit like on these maps. Every time that I actually fill in a little bit of the white with some texture, it just looks more completed. And I think that's what we're seeing here, Every little bit of brick I draw in just adds a little bit of polish. Thank you, GL. Thank you. It's not bad for my third map in this style, all in front of you, and happen to be a part of this project. We'll do more of this, though. I've got the bug. We'll definitely do more of this.
Yeah, for being not comfortable with it, and it's not something that you regularly do, you kind of rock it pretty hardcore.
Thank you. So I think there was a Jackfax that was just redeemed right there. Do we get to talk about Jack a little bit?
Oh, Jack fact. What is a fact about me? Let's see. And I love Jack facts because they could be really simple. They could be short and to the sweet. It's just something, just a tidbit of information about me. Let's see. What could I? Let's see. My favorite bird in the whole wide world is the Corvus corvax, or the common raven. That's it. That's Jack fact.
See, the fact that you even have a common bird or a favorite bird, I think it's a little bit revealing about you. We did find out last week that you did bird watching, but I'm not sure. Like, everyone could easily say what their favorite bird is. Like, I know I can't.
I could give you a top 5 of my favorite
I
birds.
bet you could. Well, actually, give us your top 5 then.
Maybe someone needs to redeem another Jack fact for my top 5. I'm just saying. Gotta tease them and want and have them want for more or something, whatever the line is.
Well, there's probably a global cooldown going on right now, so we'll have to wait for that one.
I've been thinking of the what we were just talking about with the fact that American Cowboy today would now have a completely different rating. That almost kind of goes to that whole question of what would be harder to remake today, either based on certain subject matter, but what movies back in the day were such a big, crazy deal, like maybe because of its subject matter, maybe because of the story, whatever it was, that by today's standards people would just go like whatever, like a big hullabaloo about like The Exorcist when it came out, and that type of thing. What movies back in the day were had a real big stink when it came around, and maybe it was boycotted or what have you, or there was issues with funding because people didn't want to support that type of project, that type of thing. Or are you needing a top up? Is that
no? I'm okay right now. We'll redeem that in a moment.
All right.
I actually think violent movies could fall into that though. Like, what was considered violent back in the day. I always remember, and it's a bit of a dumb one. You get two. I always thought it's a little bit of a dumb comparison, but I always remember, I think it was Rambo. I think it was 2. It might have been 3, but I think Rambo 2 caused a real stink back in the 80s because it had like 104 kills in it or something like that in the course of the movie, and it made the news. I think by today's standards, John Wick alone does more than that in like the first half hour of one of his films. It's like we could watch death in a film nowadays and it'd be nothing.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, by today's standards. I mean, and I think that's why not the last Rambo movie, because I heard that one was violent, but not crazy violent, but like the one right before it, the one that he did maybe around 2008, 2009. I forget which Rambo that was. That one supposedly was crazy violent, and like you actually see like heads like exploding and stuff from like stuff. It's like, you couldn't, if you compare that to the other one at the same time, it's like the violence isn't even on the same level at that point. It's so ridiculous. RoboCop's still pretty brutal. Funnily enough, I would still give that one an R. That one's pretty gnarlsburg.
I don't remember that one getting tagged back in the day though, like was being bad.
True. I don't think it was considered like bad. I mean, I think everyone was like, yes, it deserves an R rating. And I think by today's standards, it would still be like, yes, this deserves an R rating. Personally. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I haven't seen RoboCop in like 10, 15 years. Maybe
I think
it's
it would
not.
get an R. I don't think it would escape that.
McWhorter's saying that it might have been one of those X ones. Let me look it up. Let me see here.
Right, while Jack's doing that, I'm going to do the 2 truths, 1 lie that I think it was Wargame just did. So, and I'm going to keep it thematic. So, 2 truths, 1 lie. And this is going to be about films. Okay? So, 1. My mum and dad let me watch Jaws when I was just 13. I was going to write Roman numerals 13. I'm like, why are you making that too complex? 2. When babysitting once, the person who had hired me left behind a copy of Death Race 2000. And I watched Death Race 2000 at the tender age of 15. And I'm talking about the original now. My sister saw a clip of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, Driller Killer. in a clothes shop where we lived, and we were young teenagers. And it had disturbed her so much that it actually had an effect on me, and I hate what did they call it? Like porn violence?
Murder porn?
Murder porn. I hate murder porn. So, my mum and dad let me watch Jaws when I was 13. The first film that I actually watched while babysitting was Death Race 2000. And because of my sister's experience with Driller Killer, I hate murder porn. Hey, Pex is here. Hello, Pex. Jack, call it whenever.
It looks like we've got, let's see, Wargaming doing the true, false, true, Strega doing the true, true, false, Pex doing the false, true, true, Alex doing a false, true, true, Lantern doing a false, true, true, me doing a true, false, true. I think that's everybody that's kind of hanging out here that's being vocal.
All right, well, I'm gonna burst a couple of bubbles right out of the gate because watching Jaws at 13 is a no. That is a false. I wanted to. We were at the dinner table and my mum and dad were talking about watching Jaws, and I think they were going to go to the cinema for it, and I was like, can I go? And they were, no, you can't watch Jaws. And so, no, I did not watch Jaws until I was a lot older. My mum and dad were actually pretty strict on that type of thing. Like, I always remember they were talking about I, Claudius, talking about the bot in our channel, and it's like, well, can I watch that? And it was like, no, you can't, because I think it was rated 18 or something. So, no, my mum and dad were actually pretty damn restrictive. They played by the rules when it came to movie rating, so I did not watch Jaws until I was much older in life. Now, Death Race 2000, however, I did watch because the woman that hired me forgot that she left a whole bunch of Betamax tapes up there, and I was like, ooh, what are these? And let's just say I was actually quite entertained, and then every time that there was a babysitting gig at her place, I went. And in the end, it was actually me and some friends would go, because we had access to all sorts of movies that we shouldn't have access to.
That's funny.
Yeah, we turned up with like 3 of us to do a babysitting gig, and the woman, I don't think the woman actually twigged that we just sat there all night and watching. I actually watched. It was some German zombies thing. Zombies Lake I watched when below the age doing a babysitting gig at the same house. It was awesome. And I do hate murder porn. I absolutely do. And I think it is back to my sister's experience. It was a regular shop in Chester. Regular shop. It was actually almost like a department store. And in the electronics section, they had Driller Killer showing. Just showing. It was just playing. And my sister described the scene to me. And even right now, I don't want to repeat the scene because I hate it. I freaking hate murder porn. There's nothing for me at all.
Yeah, that's the one type of thriller or horror that I'm not a fan of. I'm all for like slasher movies. I'm all for like that kind of stuff. Because part of the experience is like the psycho killer or the entity, whether it be a supernatural being or what have you. Because there's almost like it's because they're usually over the top and they're ridiculous.
They're over the top, and they're almost meant to. Yeah, they could almost, you can make fun of them in a way.
Exactly.
Like the girl running away that trips up and stuff.
Right, exactly. Or even if they're supposed to be scary and that type of thing, but it's when you see stuff where it's like people are deliberately inflicting pain on other people, and it's usually just like a person. You know, like if it's like, you know, some Freddy Krueger and he's got you in a dream and you're draped up on some like torture device, that's okay because Freddy Krueger's being kind of silly and over the top, or maybe not silly, maybe spooky and over the top.
But I think it's like, almost, it's because it's not believable.
Right. It's like he is a monster. This is a monster scenario. You know, as opposed to this is some crazy guy that I picked up off the side of the road as a hitchhiker. I'm just trying to do a good job. And
yeah, the more believable it is, that's when I've got no interest. Yeah.
I don't need to see real people being cruel to other people. That's horrible. Yeah.
Dystopian future movies. There's nothing wrong with that. A little bit of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Yeah, Hostel is not on the watch list.
Yeah, no, I started watching that, and I stopped. I had to stop. Because honestly, it just does nothing for me. It disturbs me. I got no time for it.
Ooh, Logan's Run is a good one.
Logan's Run is great.
That's one of those movies where I love the original, and I would love to see them do a great remake. Because a lot of times people, I know a lot of people get bent out of shape with remakes. I'm usually one of them. I used to be one of them. I more get bent out of shape if there's a remake of a film that's like, wait, but that film just came out like within the last 5 to 10 years. Why are you remaking it? I like older films getting remade, especially if they have the technology to make it better, you know? And they do. But, you know, that's rare that they do. But, because, you know, Logan's Run is one that would be awesome if it got an update.
They've done variations of it. I think there's been movies that have been inspired by it, and they haven't been as good. Ooh.
You can't watch.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say McWhirter was saying he can't watch movies that are based on real serial killers. You know, where the killer is the main character. So we got a 2 truths and a lie from Alex Fixit. All right. Let's see. So her thing number 1. I first watched Alien at the tender age of 7. Okay. Number 2. I once was thrown out of a showing of Saw for shouting. Okay. And then 3. I dislike horror.
I'm gonna go true, false. And Pex, me personally, Silence of the Lambs, I liked it. But, you know, when I think it was later on when I'm not going to describe the scene because I think that'd be very inappropriate. But I feel like there was some later movies that were not as good, but the first one I quite liked.
Yeah, and one of the things about Silence of the Lambs is even though those are like real people doing real cruelties, they're not overtly graphic about it, at least
in the early films it went up.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
When they start getting graphic and it's a little bit too on the nose, I lose interest. I feel like the first one was very psychological.
Yes, 100%. And the villain being, the Buffalo Bill character. Again, you don't see him being overtly graphically violent towards his, victims. The autopsy scene, you're seeing kind of like the after effect of things. They don't focus on a lot of the gore aspect of it. I'm one of those things where the human imagination is so powerful. I'm a big fan of less is more.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of when like an axe is coming in at somebody's neck, it cuts away when you hear the sound effect. But nowadays, because shock sells, and you think it's going to cut away, but nope, you see the whole head come off, kind of thing. And it's like I don't think that's needed personally. I think it's just gratuitous at that point.
I do want to be conscious of Wargaming Recon. I know he doesn't like horror, so I don't want to get too graphic,
Right.
And then maybe we can move on from this.
100%. Anybody else chiming in on Alex's? We've got Princess doing true, false, true. You and I doing true, true, false. Green Lantern doing false, true, true. Hex doing true, false, true. And Wargaming doing true, true, false. I think that's all the vocal people, unless Brian wants to do a test or a choice.
I think that's going to be everyone, young lady. Well, this brickwork is actually taking forever. I didn't know it was going to be so long.
Brian doing a false, true, false. True, true, false.
Oh, yeah. Pex, we need a command that will get Wargaming Recon's wife to refill his pineapple juice and Malibu. That is a very fair request.
Isn't that just add a little coconut? You've got a pina colada, basically. Oh yeah, mysteries. Green Lantern. Pex.
Alex Vixen, come on, you got us in suspenders.
Suspenders. Oh, Malibu rum is coconut flavored. Well, hell, pina colada, here we come.
Just in time for Cyberpunk Week.
Well, Brian, they shouldn't have done the second part of that quote-unquote trilogy, in my opinion.
Are we talking Highlander?
No, we're talking about Chinatown.
Oh. Wargaming, yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, so Alex Vixen's responses. So, true, she did watch Alien at the tender age of 7 and had nightmares about facehuggers for 2 weeks afterwards. And then true, she got thrown out of the showing of Saw for shouting, "Cap the dead body, it's the fucking killer."
Oh, Jesus.
And false, because she doesn't indeed love most forms of horror.
Yay, I got one right.
Pex has asked, for moving on for the sake of something lighter, what are everybody's top 3 animated films? And then, holy criminy Christmas, we have both Strega and Recon blasting 2 truths and a lie.
All right, let's go back to the 2 truths and a lie. Come on. I know we like doing it, but let's space them out a little bit. Maybe someone could capture what they said, but let's come back to that. We can only do so much here.
All right, so we'll do the first. Let's discuss. Let's do the top 3 animated films, and then we will do Strega's 2 truths and a lie.
There you go. And
So
Wargaming, we'll get round to you later, darling.
And so what is everybody's top 3 animated films? And I guess another thing as well. Do you prefer 2D animation or 3D animation, or does it not matter to you?
I'm gonna do Spider-Man and the Multiverse.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a movie that genuinely just blew me away. That's my good vote, and I think that's 3D. So I think that answers that question too.
Yep. Wargaming, I would think anything animated would count. Brian McWhorter coming in with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and then Ghost in the Shell.
I tell you what, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was a little bit disturbing too. There's a scene in that one that still to this day as we go, As a kid, no, that was like a horror film to a kid in parts.
Yeah, The Dip.
Yeah.
All right. Princess coming in with Kiki's Delivery Service, Coco, and The Princess and the Frog. You know, I haven't seen Princess and the Frog. I actually should look into that. That's one I need to add onto my list.
Cats Don't Dance, Nausicaa, and The Valley of the Wind. I have literally not watched any of those. I haven't even heard of any of those.
Yeah, Cats Don't Dance is a great one. It's kind of like a play on old Hollywood, but it's animated film with like anthropomorphic cat people. Except there's also like a human girl as well. But Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind is an early Ghibli film. And then I actually don't know what Book of Life is. I love how everybody's choices are so drastically different.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
They're miles apart.
It's awesome. Good for Life is like Coco. Okay.
Thank you, Princess Strega. I redeemed that wine, darling.
Oh, I will be right back, everyone.
Oh, you guys and girls are like all over the place with these. That's freaking fantastic. Oh, Isle of Dogs. Would that count?
Yeah.
Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs for sure. I love that movie. Oh, Princess says, don't forget the snack. I hear him rustling. I don't know what. Oh, get me one of those cookies. Yeah, you would. Okay, you're already getting it. Thank you. Appreciate it, Jack. You read my mind. We're slowly slipping ourselves into the holiday season, and we're slowly beginning to accrue all sorts of snacks and things as a result. This castle takes on a whole different look. Thank you, hon. When we had a few bricks, a whole different look. What game in Rico? No, absolutely not. You talking about pina coladas makes me want to go get one. No, it's very appropriate. This is like a chocolate cookie snack. It was in the health aisle. I am literally throwing chocolate cookie all over the floor. But it was in like the health aisle. It's like made of coconut and like cocoa or something. So it's meant to be like better for you than regular cookies. I love regular cookies. But these are good too.
Pexes are the Page Master, the Hobbit, and Heavy Metal. Nice. And let's see, I know I missed one here. We're gaming Sen Tuchiro no Kakushi, excuse me. Kakushi, A Sleeping Beauty, and Nightmare Before Christmas. Very nice. While Nightmare Before Christmas is not in my top 3, it is in my top 5. As a matter of fact, behind me on the wall here, I actually have 3 Nightmare Before Christmas pictures. You can't see them because I have my Imperial Star Destroyer blast doors closed. My 3 are Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Princess Mononoke, and then Your Name. Those are my 3.
Your Name?
Your Name. Yeah. It's a film from Japan that came out a couple years ago. Yeah, it's really good, really, really good, and it's really moving too. I actually watched it when we were on a film on one of our convention flights, and I knew nothing about it, and I went into it. And Strega, you're right there with me. We're on the plane, and I started bawling my eyes out.
Oh, I remember that. That.
It's so emotional and it's so good. Yeah, I immediately fell in love with it, and it's funny. Yeah, it would not. I if you would have told me about it, like if you would have just described it, I would have been like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. But then I saw it, and I was like, right. I went into it knowing nothing about it, and I was just like, this is such a good story. Hi, Jen. Phantom Jen.
Hey, Jen says shadows. Good to see you, girl. And GL said something up there about favorite animated series, top 3 series.
That one we will get back to in a moment. So everyone, we're going to do Princess Strega's 2 Truths and a Lie.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I am going to recopy her thing and highlight it. So Strega, you don't have to spend the highlight points again for that.
And haven't forgotten about the beans, by the way.
She's
everyone.
doing it.
We're definitely doing the beans. Don't worry about that. They're sitting here in the queue.
All right, she did post it again. Cool. So everybody, Princess Strega's 2 Truths and a Lie. She used to work at a movie theater. Number 2, psychological thriller is one of her favorite subgenres. And then 3, Stranger Than Fiction of 2006 is her default answer to her favorite film of all time. That is the one with with Will Ferrell and Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I think I've got to be wargaming on this. Oops.
Then I will mix it up and do pow, pow, pow.
There's going to be a whole bunch of people wrong here.
Oh wow! I just realized. Am I the odd bird out?
I think you are.
I think I'm the odd bird out. Ooh, and Phantom Gen 2. There we go. The 3 of us are all on the true, false, true. Okay, no hooks out, left, straight up, true, false, true. Ha! The 3 of us got it right. So
wow, a lot of us got it wrong.
So she did used to work at a movie theater. Her go-to answer typically is a default when people ask what her favorite movie is Stranger Than Fiction 2006. And then psychological thriller is not one of her favorite subgenres. Nice. All right, and Wargaming will do yours in a moment because we'll break it up with now the updated of the top 3 animated series. I think we had something similar to this a while ago, but I'm all down with re-saying it, re-saying them in general.
Death Note.
That's probably my number 1. Yeah.
I don't have a top 3 because I don't watch that many.
Do you have any from your youth that you remember fondly, even if it might not?
I don't think they used to do animated series back then. Scooby-Doo, they're all one-offs and stuff. Danger Mouse. So, Hong Kong Phooey. But we're getting to just cartoon territory, So no, I didn't really... I've never been a big animated series watcher. Actually, I haven't. I have the same reaction to animated movies than I do to sing-alongs, musicals.
Musicals, yeah.
Well, I acknowledge that there are some I like, but generally as a genre, I don't watch it. I can be very pleasantly surprised from time to time, I acknowledge this.
Okay. Yeah, and and everybody has their own, interests and likes. That's one of those.
This is where he leaves me, by the way. This is where he's like, we're done.
Well, because you can't fault somebody for just not being into something. I don't like musicals, but you acknowledge, you're like, but I'm glad that you're mature enough to be like, you're not just straight up, I hate musicals. You go, there are some musicals I like, but generally I don't favor them. It's like, yes, that's an intelligent, mature answer. I actually know someone who's close to me in my life, aka family member, who's like, I hate animated films. And it's like, but animated films are like, there's every genre of animated film. Are you looking for drama? Are you looking for a war film? Are you looking for a comedy? Are you looking for a black comedy? Are you looking for a drama comedy? Are you looking for a family fun film? Are you looking for a kids film? Are you looking for porn? Are you looking for, it's like, what name a genre out there? There's an animated film for it. I mean, it's like, it's so crazy. So it's like, how can you just not like animated films? I mean, that's so crazy. That just is crazy.
And there are some exceptional ones nowadays,
Exactly. That's like
when even people the cinematography is on point with any live action.
Right. All right, so let's see. So Princess Strega, her series are Violet Evergarden, Angel Beats, and Steins Gate. GL has Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, and Captain Harlock. Except he immediately corrects himself and says Gazaraki replaces Harlock. Okay. Peck says Mobile Suit Gundam 0079 UC. I don't know what that means. Batman the early 90s Conroy version, and Gotcha Man. Okay. Wargaming Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's on mine as well. That's on my list. G.I. Joe Real American Hero, and Roughnecks. Gazaraki. Okay. Jill, I'll take a look for it. Oh, dump Roughnecks for Crayon Shin-chan. Shin-chan. Excuse me. I can't speak. Okay. A lot of these I actually haven't heard of. I might have to be taken out of this. Like 2 of Angels I didn't know. I've never heard of before. The Gazaraki I'd never heard of before. I've never actually heard of Roughnecks or Crayon Shin-chan. So, Alex Vixen says Bucky O'Hare, Batman the Animated Series, and Martian successor Nedasiko. I don't know that one either. Write all these down.
You're taking notes, huh?
Yeah. Well, if these are series that people are like, these are my absolute favorite, it's like, well, there's got to be something going for them. Steins Gate, gotta write that one down. Gazaraki, wrote that one down. Where do you got? Where is it? Crayon Shin-chan, Martian successor. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna now apparently have half a dozen series I need to watch just because you guys are all like, these are the best.
And he actually does watch a lot of series while he's working his day job. He has stuff playing all of the time off to one side. So if Jack says he's gonna watch something, you guys and girls have just fed him a whole bunch of inspiration. He will watch it.
Yeah, if I can find them for free on a streaming platform, and if they're not subtitled, I will watch it, because if it's I like watching shows and films in their original language with subtitles. I don't like dubbed stuff if I can help it. And since I'm working and I work on the computer, if it's dubbed, I can't read it. So that's the one drawback, unfortunately. Some stuff I will watch the dubbed version because of nostalgia, like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I watch the dubbed version because that's how I was introduced to it on, and I know some of it doesn't work, but that's what I knew. So when I rewatched it, I watched watched/listened to the dub version.
I think you all just got a Jack fact.
Free Jack fact. There you go. So the next one that gets redeemed already did it. Okay, so I'll have to hold off on the Ava. Which one was Ava? Ava? Yeah, GL. That's my number 3 is Cowboy Bebop. Though it's been so long since I've seen it, that I actually we bought it on Blu-ray, and we have yet to like do a rewatch of it. I mean, I last saw it when it like basically first came over to the States. Oh Neon Genesis is the dubbed Neon Genesis isn't that great in my opinion. But yeah. I mean, it's okay, but The Dragon Prince on Netflix is also a high on your list. Okay, cool. Okay, so GL says the other ones of GLs were Outlaw Star, Nadesco, Trigun. Oh, you can do 5. Now nice.
Time check. We're gonna be early. This is just 52 minutes into the stream. We got another 40 minutes to go right here. We are good to go. And I regardless, I'm finishing this bloody map tonight. And I think we definitely will. Because actually, I'm really close. But yeah, we've got 40 minutes to go.
Yes. You know what? Even though as much as I love Cowboy Bebop, I might have to switch it out to give some Star Wars some love. I might have to put on either Clone Wars or Rebels.
I actually am surprised that you haven't already.
Yeah, I think I might put on Rebels. Yeah. I think I would swap out Cowboy Bebop for Star Wars Rebels. Which is crazy because Cowboy Bebop is awesome. All right, so moving on to, so everyone will, I'm going to repost Wargaming's, unless he's going to post it. I'm going to go and copy it so everybody can re-see it. His 2 truths and a lie. All right. Oh, Wargaming's posting it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I was about to do it myself, but thank you. All right, so Wargaming's 2 truths and a lie. The first time he saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in his mid-20s, and I was so horrified that I couldn't sleep through the night for about a month. Okay. 2, I saw a quote-unquote adult film at the age of 12 when a friend snuck a Ron Jeremy VHS into my house as a surprise. Okay. If that's true, I'm sorry, Ron Jeremy. And number 3, Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of my favorite films of all time, and I'd cosplay as Dr. Frankenfurter if I had the body for it.
You see, all of those seem plausible. Yeah, I'm actually with Princess on this one.
Because I know your fear of horror movies, I'm going to say that first one is true.
See, and I know he absolutely hates horror movies, which is why I was going to go true on that one. But I was like, well, if he's got this fear of horror movies, he never would have watched it. Plus, the other 2 just seem so freaking plausible.
Maybe he went into it with peer pressure. Maybe they were trying to convince him that it was an older movie or it was cheesy or something, and like, you know, it wasn't. I'm gonna go with true, false, true. And Alex Vixen is siding with you guys with the false, true, and she has a reason why she's saying false, true. Phantom Jen and I are both doing true, false, true. When did Texas Chainsaw come out? There's a movie that was remade, and the remake was fine. You know, it was one of those ones where I don't think it needed a remake, but they did one, and it worked. It was fine. They made it more slashery. But that one was like silly and over the top, you know, and it wasn't super murder porn. It's getting close, but... All right, let's see. Who are we missing? We've got RHPS. Really high people stuff. What's RHPS? Oh wait, Rocky Horror Picture Show? There's a remake. Oh, good lord.
Was there?
I wasn't aware of one. I got to imagine that's being that it hasn't. I have not heard it discussed anywhere, so I have to imagine that it was not. Oh, they did it. It was just if it was just a recording of a live performance, then that doesn't count. I mean, that's not a thing. Oh my lordy. Rocky Horror Picture Do Let's Do Time Warp Again. 2016. Oh well, you know what? I wouldn't necessarily. According to this, it's saying that it's a tribute to the cult classic. So it was they were just doing a live performance. They were basically saying Rocky Horror Picture Show is awesome and we want to do a rendition of it. So it wasn't like they were coming up be like, we're gonna remake the original. Gotcha. And it was a television film. Okay. All right. TV movie. It's okay. All right. See, I was going into the whole I'm offended that they remade something. I shouldn't have been offended. I should have just been like, I still have the original. They can remake it all they want. Yeah. Laverne Cox. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look that one. I don't know most people in modern pop culture.
Life. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know most people in life. Most people in pop culture. So, wargaming, it looks like the answer is true, false. So, did indeed see Texas Chainsaw in the 20s and was horrified for a month. They couldn't sleep. True, saw the first adult film at the age of 12 with the Ron Jeremy that a friend brought over on VHS. But false is that Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of your favorite films of all time, and you'd cosplay as Dr. Frankenfurter if you had the money for it. Now, is it one of those things where it was a trick question, where Rocky Horror is one of your favorite, you just wouldn't roleplay as Dr. Frankenfurter, or is it one of those things where it's not your favorite, but you would cosplay as Dr. Frankenfurter, or are they both? Is it a double false? What was your guess, Alex, on the false of the first one? Oh, okay. Laverne Cox is a Texas icon. Okay, cool. Nice. Wargaming. Throw that in my own face. That will be another 2 truths and a lie for the answer to that question. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the cast list for the Rocky Horror tribute television film that came out 4 years ago. I don't think I know anybody on this cast. I'm so out of touch with current people. Oh, Tim Curry did the narrator criminologist character. That's cool.
Right, we got a question time.
Question time. Okay, book 2, question 1001.
Book 2, 1001. And you know, we're going to actually do the Bean Boozled that we've got in here too.
Okay, well, we're taking a bit of a break. Do I need to have a
Do you say 2001?
1001.
1001. All right, now this is questions about me. So this is a good book because it's all about me. 1001. There we go. Okay, we cross this off. Oops, because we can only have one at a time. Oh, okay. Well, this is very simple. Do I like to cuddle? Or more broadly, do you like to cuddle? I actually do like to cuddle. I do. And I don't do it often enough, but I like a good cuddle. So that's my answer.
Well, me too. That's what I was gonna say. You stole my answer.
I don't cuddle enough. I really don't. I'm sure Jack would say, yeah, you don't cuddle enough. But no, I love a good cuddle.
Yeah, I love cuddling. My problem is I have a very high body heat naturally, and I get warm very quickly. And so if anybody cuddles me, or if I hug anybody, it's like I don't want the hug to last too long, or I don't want the cuddling to last too long, because I'm suddenly like, okay, I'm very warm now. If we're in an air-conditioned room, we can cuddle away. bring on the big cuddle pile.
I think
I'm
you
okay.
just got another Jack fact right there, by the way, because that's true, and that's one reason why I don't cuddle too much, because Jack is freaking warm, and we actually we've always had heat in the house. Didn't get air conditioning until a little bit more recently. We run the house cold. So if it was super cold, I think we're both inclined to cuddle a little bit more. But otherwise, we run the house reasonably warm, kind of right there at the level. And so we just don't want to cuddle because it's too ice. Like, oh, get off! You're too warm. Yeah, fact.
Yeah, Bashman, welcome in.
Hey, it's good Bashman here.
Yes, he tried to redeem the old shrubbery command, but both
he doesn't know how.
Alex Vixen and World Gaming Recon have both linked the list of the commands, so he can now know how to newly redo it.
So in the meantime, we've got 1, 2.
I don't have to do this too, right? Or
no.
Do I? Is it a special Jack night?
We've got 2. Do you want to do a jelly bean?
A what?
How about this? If you ever have an even number, I will split the difference with you.
Well, there's 2 tonight.
Then I'll do 1.
Go on, you have to get over here on camera. Come on.
Well, no, I'll bring it back to my camera.
Okay, but I'm going to be zoomed in. You're not. Green Luton says, I haven't beamed you lately. That's what he said. All right, so Jack, take a bean. And then you go back and eat your bean. I'm going to let Jack do his bean first.
All right, so I don't have a zoom in, but I will hold this up. I have an orange one with some red flecks in it. So I'm hoping it's not a one. I hope it's not a spicy one. Oh, it's horrible. Oh. Oh no. Okay, so that was I have done this enough in my life to know what this is. This is vomit.
Oh no.
And it is oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, and see the problem. Unfortunately, the problem, Strega, is I actually don't like milk. Another Jack fact. Oh no.
Get some of that wine down, you darling.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
You see, this is why some of them are freaking horrible. They are seriously horrible. So now Jack's got the bad one. I hope I get the good one.
The gross thing is the fact that someone actually had to taste test that enough to make sure it tasted like vomit.
Yeah, I suppose they did, didn't they? Well,
Oh,
here goes
no.
mine. Mine's a good one. Yeah, mine's great. I don't know what it is. Mine's awesome. Mine's like... So we have in here a mix of... actually some like pina coladas and like cocktails and stuff. I literally think I'm eating a pina colada right now. Talking earlier. Mine's awesome. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's fantastic.
Oh, Wargaming clipped out an oh no.
Alright, so yeah, we'll have to get Jack on close up. If Jack's gonna have a beam on odds, then we're gonna have to get Jack zoomed in on this.
That's making my eyes water. I have this aftertaste. It's this aftertaste now. Oh. Bashman, things are going great over in Oregon. We're in a freeze until for the rest of the week. I think this is the end of this week is the end of our pseudo quarantine of the state. Oh.
And thank you, Bashman, by the way. We got our parcel of your Kickstarter. Very, very much appreciated. Plus the dice. The stream has changed a little bit since you were last here. Mondays we have Jack as a guest, and we eat random beans now occasionally. We have actually someone show Bashman, if he doesn't know how, the page of things that he can redeem. We've been polishing up the channel quite a bit.
Funny enough, not only did Alex and Wargaming do that earlier, but Claudius just popped up with it.
Claudius popped up with what? Oh, how to do it.
How to claim rewards. Yeah. Yeah, GL, I'm gonna make it, but it's one of those things where you know how like jelly beans when they break apart and they sometimes get in your teeth. Well, I'm doing that natural thing, like sometimes when you get stuff stuck in your teeth, where I'm like getting the bits out, and every time I get a bit out, it goes like wash. It washes that flavor over. It's like, oh no, all over again. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do a redeem wine here on myself here because I pretty much chugged my glass.
Yeah, go for it.
Out. All right, I'll be right back, everybody.
So, King Bashman, it's actually been a while since you've seen this one. We've got our Thorpe, Hamlet, Village, all with super level detail. I love it. We've done a Brock Cutaway Tower. We've got our Mott and Bailey. .45 military camp. Marching. Just finished tonight, ready for colouring. Our castle. Our town. Our fortified town. Yeah, no, that's a fortified town. Oh, town, city. Whoa! Town, city, fortified city. Fortified city right there. And then this one is going to be the metropolis. And I'm actually going to start working on this a little bit tonight. And then that only leaves our greater castle, which I'm going to do top down. These are great, but they take too long. I just hit save. And doing a greater castle in this style, I know. I think a greater castle could gain a lot from viewing from above. So I'm just going to do from above, I think, for the greater castle. And we're going to do, like, is it Crack des Chevaliers? Or Chevalier? Crack des Chevalier? I'm really tempted to actually draw that one, because it's one of my favourite castles ever. Thank you, King. Thank you. These three here, very not my style. But I was challenged to do them, and I got carried away. In fact, Green Loontoon challenged me to do the cutaway. Alex Vixen challenged me to do a block, which I'd never heard of before. And I vowed I would only do this one as a cutaway, but once we were done with it, I loved it so much, I was like, I'm going to do the same sort of style for the Mott and Bailey. Because I feel like the Mott and Bailey actually gets a lot from that angle. Mott and Bailey from top down, that'd be kind of like boring, you know? And this one just for giggles. And I think it came out pretty good.
Or is this entire set going to be colorized, or are you planning on just doing black and whites for them? I don't know because I know this is
everything's colorized. Everything's
cool.
going to be color.
Very cool.
We'll be coloring this very shortly. And so everyone knows King Bashman from 2 King Games. He's been in the chat quite a few times, and they sent me some dice about a year or so ago, a year and a half ago, which they're very attractive dice, but they also roll like beasts in Shadowrun. Shadowrun is a D6 system. 5 into 6 is a hit, and I cannot roll anything but 5s or 6s on these things. Like, they are demon in my hands. So they sent me some more. So when Jack and we all start role-playing in person again, starts running his Shadowrun, I now am loaded down with goodies. And they are beautiful dice as well.
Yeah, I want to see the footage of the weight distribution balance test on those. I'm just saying, I want to see that test footage.
They doubt you, King. They doubt you.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I actually think the very, very first set of dice we got was actually when we met, when we met in person for the first time. I think you actually were like, "Here's some." Before, because then I think you mailed us some later. Or am I getting that backwards? Did you give us more when we met for the first time in person? I don't recall. I forget which one, chicken or the egg. But regardless, this is now like the third set of dice you've given her, and she's hoarding them all. She doesn't let anybody else use them, King. It's all her. Dice are good. It's one of those things, like you said, you know, Alyssa, with... Yeah, I know. I know Bashman. It's kind of it's all kind of a blur at a certain point. I have seen the dice, Strega. I was actually... Was I present? I forget. Did she open those on stream, or did she...
What,
the dice that you got, were you... I'm trying to remember when Princess sent you dice.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I got the dice, you were there, I showed you because they're absolutely beautiful, and then I did actually show them on stream as well.
Gotcha. Okay. But and those are gorgeous. I love dice. Dice in general, I mean, the only ones that lose some are like the just the straight color, like straight white, like you get at any board game, or like just straight red. But I like the ones that have like some patterns to them, you know. And if they are going to be a straight color, have it be a unique color. Have it be like, you know, neon pink, or, you know, neon green, you know, something like that.
I will say, Alex Vixen, my dice rolling are terrible. I'm just terrible as a GM and otherwise. It's like, okay, so this Shoggoth has a 70% chance to hit you. Fumble. Okay, so he has another go, a 70% fumble. I'm terrible as a player or otherwise. But there are 2 systems. It's not even me rolling dice. There are 2 systems where I roll well as a player. And that is Deadlands, which has the explodey system, and Shadowrun. But Shadowrun only if I'm using the dice from 2 King Games. And I have actually tried those dice. Someone else at the table did try those dice. We got a guy in the group called James, and he was like, let me try those dice. And they rolled like shit for him. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think the joke was that they were like quote unquote cheater dice, but then yeah, he rolled with them and it was like, oh, well, I guess not, because I think I got like one hit out of the entire batch. Yeah. That being said, there are a lot of online dice rollers, including like the ones on like D&D Beyond and Roll20, that are starting to do very pretty virtual dice. I got to admit.
I've been seeing them.
So, I want to. I'm hoping. See, it's this year has gone by so fast. It's already December. I mean, December's upon us. What is that? Wednesday is December. How many days are there in November? 31? 30?
30.
All right, so tomorrow's December 1st. We're already into December, for God's sakes. And it's like, I was hoping to maybe do like a Shadowrun game virtually, to try to do it virtually for our gaming group, before the end of the year. But at this point, I'm sitting here going like next gaming session, I'm like, well, we're playing our virtual game at the moment. I kind of want to do that. So maybe the next time, but then the next time there's going to be holidays, so there's not going to be a next time. So maybe so it might be like January. Maybe I can convince everybody to play in January.
I think we'll all play. I think we're all ready to play something.
Yeah, I mean, and I do know that that's one of the hurdles that a lot of gaming groups have when playing virtually, is that, a lot of times people, when they play, they're playing with their friends, they're playing with people they like hanging out with, and so that was the issue that we had, is there was too much socializing going on and too many side comments. But except when you're all on the same chat stream, you can't have side comments, because then you're basically talking to everybody and you're overriding what's going on. So I think, making sure that you keep chatter to a minimal and keep everybody on game, and then not only that, but then the GM has to make sure that they touch everybody who hasn't been talking, because a lot of games have that player who's like the one that takes charge or the one that gets the action moving. But as the GM, you have to be mature enough to go, okay, you've had your say, now hold on a second, move on to the next person. You haven't said anything for a while. Is there anything you need to do or want to do, or that kind of thing, and make sure that everybody in turn gets to do something. Virtually, it's already hard enough to do it in person at the table. So doing it virtually is so much good. It's so much harder. Yeah, I know, right, Jill? Whew.
This is a good before and after too, this map that I'm working on here, which is going to be a thing that we start introducing into the Patreon, by the way, is I'm going to take one of my old maps and I'm going to redraw sections of it, and I'll tell you why I'm redrawing sections of it. And now I've got like 20-30 years on from when these maps were originally drawn, but I'm redrawing these piers because they're boring to look at. They're boring, unoriginal, and I don't think they're realistic. So nowadays I draw my piers a little bit more like this. And I got inspired by this from a Boston map, an old map of Boston that I looked at. And the piers were just more interesting. Piers and wharfs, So nowadays I draw them more like this, and I've even got a couple of cranes and things in there as well. Like this whole, this. You see that a lot on my older maps.
Alex Vixen saying that she has a pair of D6s that are ruthless in D6 Star Wars, or any D6 system with exploding dice. A black one with red spots and a bright yellow one with white spots. The black-red one is present is record is 38. The yellow one's record is 173, both while rolling damage.
Wow.
Holy scamole.
In Deadlands, I could roll a d4 and get into the 30s pretty regularly. I seriously broke the system. My guy started off as a complete coward, didn't want to get into fights at all, but would roll d4s, get into the 30s, and massacre everyone. He became a badass.
And that certainly built up that character's confidence too. We did actually, as the group, we started to see as the characters, they started to see this guy evolve because he realized, I think, luck was on his side. I don't think he ever realized he was so lucky, because he was a bit of a shyster, that guy. But I don't think he realized how much the lucky gods were smiling down upon him until he started going, I don't want to get into a fight. And he pulls out a gun and kills everything. And he was like, oh, how did that happen? Like, the reason why you're rolling D4 was the lowest denominator for weapons. And so you had a D4. And so you were like, I don't know how to use this. Kill the bad guy. Oh, wait.
Absolutely.
What just happened? Yeah, that guy was pretty funny. Probably one of my favorite characters you've played. Definitely in your top 3.
Phantom Jen's talking about a particularly miserable GM that she had at a convention.
no.
I think a virtual convention.
Players forming their own private chat so they can gang up on the GM. Oh, interesting. Was the GM not great, and so they were like, let's kind of get back at him? Or was it done in jest, and like, while he might not have been happy, he realized it was all in fun at the end? Like, did it end badly, or was it okay? Oh, I see that you were saying no, he was not happy because Wargaming was asking, that isn't cool. And she said, no, he was not happy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Was he a bad GM? This goes back to that, bad GMs we've had moment, They wanted to take control. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, okay. It was almost one of those kind of games. Gotcha. Okay. See, I personally am a fan of role-playing games where the GM and the players work together to make a fun and interesting story. I don't like it when the DM is out to kill the players, and I don't like it when the players try to override the game to tell the story that they want to tell and screw the GM and their story. It's like, oh, all right. If that's the case, I won't bother writing anything. I'll do a pre-written adventure, and when the players win, I put the adventure down and go, great, you won. And I'm off out of the table. Bye-bye. And GMs that just want to kill their players. It's like, if you go into a game knowing that that's what you're getting into, fine. Like a Tomb of Horrors or Crypt of the Science Wizard, you're literally just trying to survive as much as you can. But you know that going in. You know that I'm going into a death trap dungeon, and I'm going to see how long can I last, and when I die, it'll be marvelous, and I'll be able to tell everybody, damn it, I died in the first room. The lava got me. Are you kidding me? But that's what it's all about. But if you tell the players about the backstory of your world and the land, and this is how the character have roots in it or whatever, and they're of a renowned company of heroes or adventurers that are trying to make their name in the world, and then you get obliterated in the first dungeon. It's like, oh, but you literally threw 8 ogres at me. You do know that I'm a level 1, right? What is happening right now? Get out of here with that.
Will someone tell me what story time is? And it may be that it's something that we do in the next stream.
Yeah, with 5 minutes on the clock, I don't know how long a story time could be.
Well, and I wouldn't make it too long, but...
Oh, and Strega's saying that story time was for me.
Oh, right on. Okay. Well, Jack, in the last 5 minutes, hit us with the story time.
I need clarification. What is story time?
Is Peck still here? Peck, what story time?
Peck says, tell us a story about yourself. So it's kind of an elaborated fact. I've done 3 facts that were all freebies tonight. Wait a minute. All right, so a story about me. Oh, good lord. This might have to be, I save it till, maybe I can guest star on Wednesday or something and do a story then. Story time. Good lord.
Only if people want you on here Wednesday.
Yeah, nobody wants me hanging around. They're all like, get this guy off the stream. Good lordy. All right, GL, have a good night.
See you, GL.
Well, see, I'm gonna cheat now. I'm gonna take, Princess saying, tell us a story of your childhood, and Jen saying, once upon a time, I had a childhood. The end. Yay, story time. Strega wants me in on Wednesday. Zach, I can't hear you. Jen is saying Zach keeps commenting out loud to what I'm saying.
Nice. Gotta love the Zach, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. I apparently I missed your. Okay, my rules of GMing. 1, we are here to have fun. 2, we are here to make a story. 3, as GM, I have access to much bigger sticks than you, so don't fuck with me. Thank you. Those are the three rules of role playing. That's fantastic. Yes, I actually played with a guy just a couple of times, and he had a very similar thing like that. And there was one player, it was one of his best friends, which is why the guy always showed up. But he was the biggest rules lawyer of all time. Like, he was a guy that if anybody tried to do anything that was outside rules as written, this guy would lose his shit. And all of the time, my friend the GM would purposefully change things so they were not in what the book said. And he would be like, I'm the GM, I can do what I want. And this guy would flip his lid. It was great because he was like, no, I'm the GM, I can do whatever I want.
I don't understand rules lawyers. It's one trait that I don't get.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like, aren't we here for the story and the adventure?
And to have fun.
Exactly. It's not about beating the GM or scoring more than all of the other players. I'm looking at you, Zach.
That's actually, one of the things I know you do, Alyssa, that you and I both do, is you and I like to take monsters that are like in monster manuals, but do our version of them. So when the Minotaur shows up, and everyone's like, all right, we got this, and suddenly he breathes fire, you're like, wait, Minotaurs don't breathe fire? Because it's like, yeah, because it's my Minotaur, god dang it. You may have the monster manual memorized, but you don't have my monsters memorized. Mine are different. Oh yeah, by the way, my monster has also a Gorgon gaze, so, he looked at you, you now just turned to stone. It's a skeleton! He's a freaking skeleton that can turn you to stone, mofo! Get out of here! Magnificent Pecs. There are 2 types of rules lawyers. First kind, they want to play within the confines of the rules for the rules' sake. Okay. And 2, the ones that are out there, the ones that are out for any and all advantages that can benefit them.
Right, because to that type of personality, it is about winning.
Right. The first one, I agree with you, Pex. I understand. They just want to play within the confines of the rules. I get that. They're just like, these are the rules, but the ones that are like, you cannot deviate from the rules ever. That's a third type. It's kind of like part 1, but they're the corrupted version of part 1, where if you try to deviate from those set of rules, they freak out. So there's 1, and then there's 1B, and then there's 2. Yeah, they're the ones that exploit every little thing. We actually had a player who's no longer with us, just because we just don't play with the guy anymore. He would exploit loopholes in Pathfinder to create characters that were broken. Basically, they were like they'd be able to solo like boss level things on their own because they found a combination of things that worked. That was like, wow, whoever whoever made these things obviously didn't playtest them, because with this combination, I am literally invincible. And I can kill anything. Yeah. Yeah, strike up. Power gamers. Yeah, power gamers.
Yeah, he was the same type of guy that any system he'd play, you'd be rolling. I'll use Shadowrun as an example. You'd be rolling 15 dice for an attack. He'd be rolling 32, and you're the same power level because he min-maxed everything. He was a definite min-maxer, but he was unashamed about it too. He'd be like, "This is why the rules are here." They didn't want me to do it. They wouldn't put it there. This is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy finding the min-max in a system.
Princess has 3 rules of GMing. She has the last word, not the rules. See, that's a good one. Thank you. The GM has final say. 2, we are here to have fun and not for disrespecting anyone. Exactly. And 3, no cell phones at the table.
That's a good one. We've done that one.
That is a great one. And sadly, because a lot of people they either want to reference check things, or they have certain apps on their phone that help them with like role playing, that type of thing. Sometimes when there are phones at the table, I agree, I know phones at the table, but when they do, for those reasons, suddenly emails are coming up, suddenly web search is coming up. We have one guy off to the side, he would have a sports ball playing. I know, Alyssa and I sometimes would be on Facebook, it'd be like,
I only get on Facebook if the GM is blowing the shit out of me.
Well, true.
Otherwise, I try to be respectful of the GM, and I don't do that shit.
Of course.
If you see me on Facebook, I'm bored, or I'm angry. I think this is probably a good spot, and we'll pick up. Well, maybe we'll pick up Wednesday night then with Jack's story. And tomorrow night, I'm going to finish this metropolis by drawing in some fields and farms. And we're going to start the Greater Castle. Crack des Chevaliers, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. We're going to start drawing the Greater Castle. My objective is to be complete with this map ink work certainly by Tuesday of next week. Maybe before. That's my objective. And then we're going to start moving on to colouring. Oh, and I've got the frames to do as well. So this is going to bleed into 2021. But that's okay, because we've done great work on it. We're getting really close. Locatoy is almost complete. Once Locatoy is complete, we're bringing back Necropolis. We're going to be working on that, so we'll be working on this and Necropolis, and occasionally you're going to see a Viking map pop up, and I'm still nailing down the details of that one. So yeah, busy. And next year, I have already been commissioned to draw the largest city that I have ever drawn, and you've seen me draw some big cities, so we have some fun things in the future. But first, let's finish this week. And so tomorrow we are going to be in, same time as usual, we're going to be hitting up the Metropolis, and then we're going to be drawing our Greater Castle. We're going to be having some fun with that one. Until then, Jack, thank you for being with us tonight.
Of course.
And to all of you cool kids out there, I want to say thank you to my Patreon supporters. I want to say thank you to you Twitch subscribers. You're all wonderful people. I love you all very much. December is literally just around the corner. We have a lot of goodies for you coming in the Patreon pack this month. So watch out for that. Don't forget to collect it all. And come hang out with us on Discord. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for hanging out with me.